To solve a linear equation with fractions, you have to do the following steps. First, clear the fraction or fractions by multiplying the entire equation by the LCD. That means multiply the left and the right side. Next, simplify both sides of the equation. That means clear parentheses and combine like terms together. Third, add or subtract the terms with a variable to one side, and then add and subtract the terms without the variable to the other side. Once you've done that, you can multiply or divide the coefficient of the variable to the other side. As always, as an optional step, you can plug in your answer back into the original equation to see if it is true. You do not need to do this, but it is a way to check to see if you're correct. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve the equation 1/2 x plus 3 equals 5. So I don't want to deal with fractions, so I'm immediately looking in here and I'm going to say, what is my LCD? And I only have one fraction, so only one denominator, so I know that my LCD is 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take 2 and multiply it by the entire equation. So when I do that, this 2 is going to cancel out with this 2, leaving with just a 1, so 1x, or just x. No denominator to cancel out here, so 2 times 3 is 6. And then no denominator here, so 2 times 5 is 10. And this equation is far easier to work with than the original, so we just need to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. It cancels out here, and x is going to give me 4. Now, I'll just show it one time, but you can just plug this back in to see if it's true. So 1/2 times 4 plus 3 equals 5. So 1/2 times 4 is 2, plus 3 equals 5, and then 2 plus 3 is 5. So 5 is 5, 5 does equal 5, so this is true, and this is the solution to this equation. Next, we have a bunch of fractions going on here. 5/6 x plus 2/3 equals negative 1/6 x minus 5/3. So we got 4 fractions, but just like before, we want to find the LCD. So really we only have 2 different denominators to worry about, 6 and 3, because they're all 6's or 3's. So what is the LCD of 6 and 3? The answer is 6. So I'm going to take my 6 and I'm going to multiply it by the entire equation to clear the fractions. So here, 6 is going to cancel out with 6, leaving me only with a 5. So I will have 5x. 3 will go into 6 2 times, so there's a 2 here, and so 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. Equals, again 6 cancels out with 6, so I'm going to be left with a negative x, and again 3 cancels out with 6, or goes into 6 2 times, so 2 times negative 5 is going to be negative 10. And now we have no more fractions to work with, so let's just solve it. I'm going to move all my x's to this side, so I'm going to add x over to both sides. Cancels out here, leaving me with a 6x. Bring the 4 down and bring the negative 10 down. Now I'm going to subtract 4 over here, so minus 4 and minus 4, canceling it out. So 6x equals negative 14. And now I got to get 6 away from x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 6, canceling out the 6's there. And when I do that, I'm going to have x equals negative 14/6, which if you reduce it down is going to give you negative 7/3. So again, you can plug this back into the original and see if it's true, and it should be, but it's not necessary to check it. Next we have 1/3 times the quantity x plus 7 minus 1/2 times the quantity x plus 1 equals 4. So again, I'm going to look for my LCD, and I'm only looking at my denominator of 2 and 3, and I can see that my LCD between these two is, again, a 6. So I am going to multiply the entire equation by 6 to clear the fractions. So this 3 goes into 6 2 times, and so I'm going to have 2 times x plus 7. So this 6 cannot go into this parentheses. The 1/3 actually reduces it down, so don't multiply 6 in here. Now I'm going to do it again. 2 goes into 6 3 times, so 3 times the whole parentheses is going to be 3 times the whole parentheses. Again, the 6 or the 3 does not go inside the parentheses. And then last time, 6 times 4, because this has no denominator to cancel out, so it's going to give us 24. Now distribute the 2 inside and distribute the negative 3 inside. So 2x plus 14 minus 3x minus 3 equals 24. Combine like terms, the 2x and the negative 3x, going to give me negative x. 14 and negative 3 is going to give me positive 11. It's going to equal 24. Now I have all the x's to one side, so I'm going to move the 11 over here by subtracting it. Cancels out there, so negative x equals 13. And because I have a negative here, I want to make my x positive, so it's understood to be a negative 1, so I'm going to divide by negative 1 here. So the negative 1's cancel, and I'm going to end up getting x equals negative 13 as my solution to this equation. Last, x minus 2 divided by 5 minus x minus 4 divided by 2 equals 2. I will again look for my LCD, and I have a 2 and a 5, so I can see that my LCD here is 10. So just like before, I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. So when I do that, this 5 is going to go into 10 2 times, and so I'm going to have a 2 and an x minus 2, because this 5 is gone, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Do it again for the 2 here. This 2 is going to go into 10 5 times, so this will be canceled out, so it's going to be 5 times x minus 4, because again the 2 is gone, and then equals nothing to cancel out here, so 10 times 2. Give me 20. Now distribute the 2 and the negative 5 inside the parentheses. 2x minus 4 minus 5x plus 20 equals 20. Combine like terms, the 2x and the negative 5x will give you negative 3x. Negative 4 and positive 20 is going to give you positive 16, and still equals 20. All the x's are to one side, so I'm now going to move the 16 over by subtraction. Cancels out, so negative 3x is going to equal 4. And again, I got to get the x by itself, so I'm going to take the negative 3 and I'm going to divide by negative 3. Canceling out here, and so I'm just going to move this over here, and I'm going to end up getting x equals a negative 4/3. Now whether the negative's in the bottom or the top, or if you don't want to commit to either one of those, you can always just put it in the front, like so. But it doesn't really matter. Most often we just put it in the middle or in the top. Both ways are correct. In any case, this is the solution to this equation.